Blessings everyone, this is Chris Kendall from therawAdvantage.com, registered holistic nutritionist, raw food lifestyle coach, and raw chef. Today I'm bringing you a what I eat in a day video based on my last day in the life video, link below, including 3 recipes with curry sushi. Let's get into it.
Baby, I like it raw. Raw Advantage likes it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Hey.
Alright guys, so this is going to be my first meal in the what I eat in a day video that is kind of following up the day in the life from last week. So if you want to see the activity that prompted this big smoothie, well, you're going to want to check out that other video. But here we're going into exactly what I'm eating, you know, the calories, some of the nutrition stuff, and the recipes themselves. So you're going to get 3 recipes today, I'm pretty sure, because it's an active day, or it was an active day. It's going to be an active day, right? So I do want to share quickly just a disclaimer. You know, I've been doing this for over 16 years now as a raw vegan, and my meal size has gone up over the years. When I first started, I'd really be eating like 3, 4, 5 meals a day. I remember 8 bananas felt like a big smoothie. Yeah, that seems like a teeny little snack now. So, you know, eat for enjoyment, eat as much as you really do enjoy, right in between as much as you enjoy, as much as you can, rather than trying to emulate what I'm doing and stuff down gigantic quantities. You know, it does take some time for the body to adapt, and if you're focusing on enjoyment and just making sure that you're satiated and you're eating as many meals throughout the day as you require to feel really good and not feel hungry all the time and dropping your body weight lower and lower and lower, that's a key for success. So what is this lunch smoothie going to be? So it's just a very simple banana green smoothie. It's just a screen smoothie, one of my common ones. I don't usually use kale, but yeah. I got some kale at the auction for like $1 for this organic kale. So we're going to be using that kale, and we have 19 bananas here. Some are smaller, some are ones that were in the fridge, so they're kind of cold and nice. We got Dee Dee over here, my special kitty here. Maybe we'll see Dottie as well, but we're just going to start peeling and put them in the blender. That's really it. You know, it's nothing too fancy here, so next recipe is going to be a heck of a lot more exciting, and the next one too. Actually, the next 2 recipes I'm making today, I've never made before in my life. Literally, you know, that's kind of fun. You know, I'm, again, you know, 17 years vegan and over 16 years raw vegan, and I can still make recipes that I've never had in my life. There's such an abundance, such variety. As a chef, I like making a lot of different dishes, and yeah, you know, I wanted to share something a little different with you today, so I'm excited for it. It's very rare that it's not at least pretty good, and you know, the worst case scenario, you go, didn't really love that one, I'm probably not gonna make it again. You know, it's pretty fun. It's pretty damn fun here. Just breaking these bananas up, throw them in the blender, and we'll fast forward this a bit. A little tip with green smoothies, what I like to do is actually put the greens in the bottom portion, not the very bottom, but near the bottom. That way they blend up first, so you can just get them nice and smooth without needing to blend the smoothie quite as long. So I'm gonna put it down here and then put the rest of the bananas on top. Damn, this kale is crispy. Check that out. It's like, oh, listen to that. Oh yeah. Really, any greens will do. You know, I use from spinach to arugula, which is one of my favorites, to barley grass juice powder, to iceberg lettuce, to romaine lettuce, to celery, to Boston, to Bibb, to red, to Cos, to green, you know, butter lettuce. Almost any of it is good. You know, just get some greens in, rotate them, use different ones, you know, dandelions, you know, wild edibles, you know, lots of different stuff. So this is just going to be the kale smoothie. You might be saying, Chris, you're never going to fit those bananas in there. We'll see. Well, I think we need to start blending to get this down. The trusty Vitamix. You can, you know, learn more below. Click my link and, you know, help me out with my banana habit. You know, I'm an affiliate, so I have this filthy banana habit. Help me out, please. The obligatory awkward moment with the tamper. I don't know oh! We still got lots of room. So let's get the rest of these suckers in there. Oh, it looks like it'll fit, hey? Looks pretty perfect, you know? Just a bunch. 6-pack, you know? I like to bring my 6-packs with me wherever I go. Bring a 6-pack to the, you know, to the beach, to the bar, you know, to the skate park. Perfect. Right, Dee Dee? 3-in-1 peel. See that? That was impressive. It always makes me think of the old Disney 3-in-1 blow. You know what I'm saying? Anyone? Comment below if you know what I'm talking about. I typically go through a case of bananas in a week. It's like 100 bananas, and if I'm not eating bananas, then I'm eating other sweet fruit. It's just what's available, but bananas are cheap, available year-round, super nutritious. They digest really damn well for me. People that talk about them being mucus-forming, they're eating them unripe, then it does, but if you're eating them nice and ripe, then they're really smooth digesting and super good and nutritious for you. Do not buy the fear around hybrid or stuff like that. I'll do a whole video on that if that's interesting to you guys, let me know, but bananas are phenomenal. Enjoy them. Let's blend this up. There we have it. That's just meal 1 of 3 today, and I'll give you the nutritional calcs, from Chronometer. I recommend using that just to understand what's going on. I don't use it all the time, but then you can start to get the hang of how many calories you're getting in per day, like what kind of nutrients, your macronutrient ratio, so how much protein, carbohydrates, and fat you're getting in your day. And, it doesn't need to be micromanaged, but over the day, week, month, even year, it's beneficial to know what you're doing. And that way you can get really great feedback. But I'm just gonna chow this down. I like to drink it fairly slowly, but I can very comfortably eat this in about like 15 minutes. Gandhi said, chew your drink and drink your food. Really great advice. No matter what you're eating, if you simply do that, chew your drink and drink your food, meaning chew it until it's drink, you're gonna do a heck of a lot better, So I'm gonna take my time, dedicate myself to the smoothie and the moment, and we'll see you on the next recipe. All right, so here we are in Chronometer, and I'm gonna show you just kind of a basic overview of each meal, and then at the very end of the video, I'm gonna show a breakdown of all the meals together and go into the details of exactly what I got. I have in here kind of fine-tuned for myself for an average of about 2,775 calories per day. You can see this meal, 13 medium bananas, 6 small bananas, and 200 grams of kale gave me 1,975 calories. Again, I normally burn 2,775, and so it looks like I'm still requiring an 800 calorie balance, but in reality, this is a pretty active day, so I'll be needing more than that. So if you look here, you can see that I've met 71% of my energy needs for an average day. I got 29.2 grams of protein or amino acids, 433 grams of carbohydrate, and 10 grams of fat. 72% of my nutritional targets just with this one meal for the day. So over 168% of my fiber, over 110% of my iron, 62% of my calcium, over 366% of my vitamin A, doing good there, over 400% of my vitamin C, tons of folate, lots of potassium. And again, I'm going to go into each meal as we go and then the full breakdown at the end. All right, well, it's been a jam-packed day of fun and adventure. You're gonna have to watch the video before to figure out what happened between lunch and my pre-dinner smoothie. And actually before I get into that recipe, I'm gonna do a little bit of pre-prep for the dinner recipe, and I'll let you in on a little secret. I'm doing a bit of a fusion. I'm doing a curry sushi recipe that I've never done before. Really excited for it. I'm just playing around in here, so maybe a little bit sloppy, but we'll see. I think it'll spark some ideas, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. So for the pre-prep, all I'm gonna do is take 300 grams of mushrooms, crimini, my personal favorite. I absolutely love these guys. And 300 grams of grape tomatoes. And I'm gonna cut them into little cubes and then dehydrate them for at least an hour. I'd probably like an hour and a half, 2 hours, but I don't quite have that time. So I'm just gonna do that. So let's just chop them up and get them in there. See, I want them almost in like a salsa dice, pretty small. I'll get them right up the front so they dehydrate quicker. I think you get the picture. All right, so we got all the beautiful mushrooms. It's quite a bit, maybe I overdid it, but I do love mushrooms, and I cut them pretty small. I cut each mushroom into like 9 and sometimes even 12 little cubes. So those will dehydrate a lot faster. Now I got these grape tomatoes or cherry tomatoes. You could use any tomatoes, just trying to get them into a small little dice. I'm using a little serrated knife because sometimes tomatoes, you squish them if you don't have a super sharp knife. And while this is pretty sharp, it's not like crazy sharp. So I'm gonna cut these guys in half, and then I'm gonna actually cut them 3 like that. So there we go. So I got 3 bits, and the idea is I want to get as much of the wet tomato insides exposed so that when I dehydrate, they get kind of more crisp and less watery. I want them to have a teeny bit of water when you bite into them, but not like wet. It doesn't make the sauce really liquidy. So here we go, let's go down to the dehydrator room. And now into the Excalibur food dehydrator, the best dehydrators in the business. You can use my link to support my banana habit if you like, free shipping. Seriously, they're the best. I recommend the 9 tray, just the basic one like this. So we got the mushrooms just above center and the tomatoes right in the center. And I'm going to turn that right up to about 118. Boom. Sorry, it's a little messy. Oh gosh, how embarrassing. All right, so now that we got that stuff in the dehydrator and prepped for dinner, I'm starting with my pre-dinner smoothie. Yeah, this might be like an hour before, but after the that's the other video. After the other stuff, I want to recharge up with some fruit. So what do I have here? Oh, I love mandarin oranges. So I have 15 mandarin oranges, and I have here the Flexzion vacuum blender. I have both, the Vitamix and the Flexzion. I actually have a video comparison of the two in the link below. You can learn more about why I do love a vacuum blender as well, but I also still use the Vitamix. I love them both. But for this recipe, I'm going to use the Flexzion. Nice, super smooth texture, deeper flavor, less air bubbles in it, so it's just a more enjoyable drink. So I'm just going to peel all these mandarins and fill that up. So let's give it a go. You ever do this when you were little? We used to do this all the time. Let's see. Carefully peel. It's good. No, not bad, not bad. Hello, look at me. I'm an elephant. It's not a wiener face, it's an elephant. Yeah, there you go. And they barely fit in there. In fact, that's a little more than you're supposed to put, but I know this will shrink down to probably down there. So we're gonna put this in, put the lid on. Oh yeah, you can hear the air getting pumped out. Put her on to the base and then close it up. Switch to the vacuum setting and we'll just vacuum it up. This is just sucking all the air out of there, or as much as it possibly can, which helps with less oxidization when you're actually making a smoothie, which lends to having higher antioxidant profile with the finished result and less air bubbles, which is pretty darn neat. You can actually really taste the difference. And again, there's that whole video. So now we'll just switch it to the V blend. We'll vacuum just a teeny more and then go. Come on, come on. Right, gotta do it. Go for it. Come on, get in there. There we go. Sometimes you gotta get violent. Oh, there we go. Finally, it's all done. So, that's one of my favorite parts. Just open this up, twist it off. And when you pull this little release valve, you'll see the air go back in, so watch closely. Oh, do you see that? So this made more than I planned on. I'm just gonna make it a little bit harder to do the secret new smoothie that I've never made before. So what I'm gonna do is drink a little bit down. So I'm just gonna have a little bit of this mandarin. Oh yes. I love mandarin orange season. We call them Christmas oranges here. All right, so to make something a little different, I've never tried this before, as I said. I'm kind of excited to give it a go. I'm just gonna take this mandarin orange juice or smoothie and mix it with this guava mango kombucha. I got cases of kombucha for a crazy deal. It's organic, high quality kombucha, 70 cents a bottle. So I don't really go crazy on kombucha generally. Sometimes I go a year having a couple, but and I've had years without any, of course. But when I saw them at that price and good quality and really tasty, I figured I'd give her a go. So make it kind of like a sparkling smoothie. So let's see if I can pour this whole bottle in there. Oh, come on, you can do it. Good. There we go. Perfect. So that's what I was looking for. And I'm not going to blend that up. Instead, I'm just going to give it a little mix. Oh, look at this. Even got a head on it. Ooh, wow. That's really neat. So let's give this a go. Wow, that's a pretty tasty one. So I'm gonna suck this back, chill out with my folks for a little bit, and then we'll get into the dinner prep for the curry sushi. Damn. All right, so here we have that fancy sparkling mandarin orange smoothie. Now, this isn't the exact kombucha I had, but it's the closest one I could see that had similar calories and similar amount there. So you can see that it's about 790 calories, that we're looking at about 10.7 grams of protein, 175 grams of carbs, and 4.1 grams of fat. We're looking at 30% of all my targets just in this pre-dinner meal. So, I mean, had some fiber, even though you wouldn't think so. It still has some soluble fiber there. And a decent amount of iron, 25%, almost 49% of your calcium. You get a lot of calcium from oranges. It's pretty dang amazing. And navels are way higher. Lots of vitamin A. That's definitely not a worry. Tons of vitamin C, not a worry. Over half of my folate and potassium. And let's get into the dinner meal. That's going to hit it hard. All right, guys, so now we're diving into the grand finale, or the dinner recipe, the promised curry sushi recipe. So, I'm pretty excited about this. I'm getting pretty damn hungry. That smoothie went down really nice, and I think we're gonna start off by making the sushi rice. Now, of course, the other stuff's in the dehydrator still. I've actually given it an hour and a half, so it's looking good. I just checked on it a little bit ago. But what I'm going to start with is the cauliflower rice. And I'm going to use a technique that Lissa from Raw Food Romance actually created and came up with. I've never seen it before. So we have 600 grams of raw cauliflower. So I'm just going to take this cauliflower, put it directly into the Vitamix blender. If you don't have a Vitamix blender, then maybe what you're going to want to use instead would be a food processor. And just break it up, put it in there, put it on a low to medium speed, and just food process it until it makes kind of like a pilled up rice-like texture. But this is a little bit quicker and easier and less cleanup than using the food processor. And if you don't know me by now, you don't know that I'm lazy. Yeah, I might make some fancy stuff, but I'm always going for the quickest, easiest route possible. So that's why I'm using this technique here. And I want to give extra props out to Lissa Raw Food Romance and her hubby Nate. Both awesome, awesome peeps. Got amazing recipes themselves, meal plans, and their new nice cream book, and lots of really cool stuff. So I'll put a link down below to check some of their stuff out as well. You definitely want to. And this is pretty perfect. Just breaking it up in there. There we go. How tough am I? I can just break cauliflower. And this little stem end, it's going to chop, 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 chop. There we go. Good thing I didn't cut off my fingers. And the technique that she uses that will make this into beautiful rice, she calls it the wet chop technique. Pretty cool, right? So what we're going to do is fill this up with water, so it's all in water. I have reverse osmosis tap right here, so not getting any weird stuff on it. I would definitely recommend getting filtered water, maybe using a Brita if you don't have a whole house system. So we're just going to fill that up so it's completely covered in water. So you can see that now, right? And we're going to put it on the trusty Vitamix blender base. And just turn it on at a really low speed. So we're gonna start at the lowest speed. There we go. And just pulse it a little bit so that we get all of those chunks in there. And we're not pulverizing it, right? There we go. That looks good. That's it. Make sure there's no big chunks floating at the top. No, it's all ricey in there. And then what we're gonna do is use a trusty Nutmilk Bag. Now, I'll have a link below for one of my favorite Nutmilk bags. This guy is really, really good, really helpful. And we'll be using this a little bit later in the recipe too for laziness and convenience. So we're just gonna take this and dump the water out. Hopefully you can see this. I can zoom in. Yeah, that's the ticket. That's me being lazy again. So pour this in there. Nope. Get this little bit in the corner out. Get in. And you really want to squeeze the liquid out. You don't want it to be watery rice, otherwise it's just gonna soak your nori, right? So it's gonna squeeze and squeeze, squeeze and twist and squeeze. Use those raw vegan muscles. Ah! Thank you, Lissa, for this awesome technique. I really don't like cleaning the food processor. I know that's pretty lazy, but maybe you just don't even have a food processor. You invested in Vitamix, which I would recommend. If I was gonna do any one kitchen tool, obviously besides like a knife, it'd be a Vitamix blender. Again, you can see my links below and support my banana habit. There we go. So now in this bag, we have some beautiful cauliflower rice. Just gonna pop it all in here. Looks beautiful. You could use this in so many ways. I mean, if you don't have the nori, you could just make the same curry over top of the rice, you know, but we're making sushi. We're going for it. So there we go. That's in there. We'll be using this again, so I'll set this aside. And I'll just show you, look how beautiful that looks, right? Like, just perfect rice, you know? It's really darn nice. Rice is nice when it's cauliflower rice. There we go. So we have the cauliflower rice. We're just gonna set that aside. And next we're gonna get into making the curry sauce, since we have the bulk of the curry ingredients dehydrating in the basement in the Excalibur dehydrator. So I have here about 300 grams of carrots. And I'm just gonna chop those up. We're gonna put those into the Vitamix blender. Hopefully they go in there. Not, oh, there, oh God, oh my God, oh jeez. Just call me the clumsy chef. How embarrassing. Put those in there. And this time, we're gonna blend it on high and use this tamper. Now this is me being lazy again, not using a juicer, because I don't like cleaning juicers, you know, and yeah, geez. Someone else wants a juice for me? Come out. No, this works really darn good. So otherwise you could use a juicer. And if you don't have this, then you could, you know, just use some water, and it doesn't taste quite as good. This is kind of taking that tip from Cocobutter Veggies 3.0. You can see the link below for that. There's gonna be tons of links below, but it's a really good way to flavor that broth or the sauce. So I'm just gonna blend this. There we go. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna dump these carrot bits into the Nutmilk Bag. Rather, the carrot puree. Try and get as much of it as you can. If there's a teeny bit left, no biggie. I usually have to scoop in there with my hand and get the stuff stuck to the side. Well, there we go. You can see we have a little bit left in there. I'm not worried about that. And then we're just gonna squeeze this into a bowl, or you could squeeze it back in the blender, but I didn't want any drips on the countertop. So squeezing this into the bowl. And from this, I'm betting we're gonna get about 3/4 cup of fresh, squeezed carrot juice. So there we go. All this pulp, you know, you could feed to an animal, you could put into your compost. If you want, you could make crackers or something out of it. And we'll just pour this into the Vitamix container. Let's see how close I was. Let's see. Pretty spot on, right around 3/4 cup. So to this, we're gonna make the curry sauce. So what we're gonna do is add 300 grams of tomatoes. Now I'm using grape tomatoes because I have an abundance of them, but any tomatoes will do. The more flavorful the sauce is gonna be. The more flavorful the sauce is gonna be. So put those tomatoes in there. I have 35 grams of onion. You could use any onion, sweet onion, green onion. You could omit the onion if you don't want that powerful flavor. 35 grams of ginger. I love ginger, putting a bunch of ginger in there. I'm not gonna bother peeling it or anything like that. This is good quality organic gingers. Boom, right in there. 1 clove of garlic. Boom. I like it spicy, guys. I like spicy, so I have 3 of these green chilies. You know, go to your tolerance level. I'll have the full written recipe in the instructions linked below. And I want my curry sweet, so I'm putting in 6 of these little dates, which is actually about the same as 3 medjool dates, about 30 grams. So I'm putting those in there. And I have this delicious curry powder. It's a pure hot Indian curry powder. Check it out. It's a pretty darn good quality one I got for a really darn good deal. And I'm going buck on this. because this is a curry sushi, I want it to be really curry-ish. So I'm gonna do 4 tablespoons. Yeah, you heard that right, 4 tablespoons of curry. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam. Yeah, no joke. And then I have a 1/4 cup of hemp seeds and a 1/4 cup of flax seeds. Now, I'm not gonna put all of that in there. I'm actually only gonna put about a third, just a rough third in there. So put a little bit of the hemp, a little bit of the flax. Can always add more later if we want. And we're gonna blend that up and see how smooth that gets. Wow, it smells and looks divine. Let's just see. Yeah, that's really damn good. So the reason I didn't put all of the flax and the hemp seeds in there is because I want a little bit of a dipping sauce on the side. Same stuff that's inside, just in case I want more of that flavor. So I got a little bowl here, and I'm gonna dump out about a third of that. See, it's already fairly thick. And the remaining sauce here, I want it to be super thick so that it's not just squirting out of the sushi. So we're actually gonna put all the rest of that back in there, all the rest of the seeds in there, and we're gonna blend that up, and it'll be more like a paste. Wow. So that's really thick, really darn thick. Like, look at that coating, like, And it's really dang delicious. So as you can see, tomatoes and mushrooms, they dried up pretty nice. So this way they're gonna suck up the flavor from the curry instead of watering it down. Just gonna put all these beautiful mushrooms and the tomatoes into this bowl. Did you know that mushrooms are the only plant source of vitamin D? D2 specifically, a little vitamin D supplement. I'm gonna dump this curry sauce right on top. Look how thick that is. Oh, get in there, get in there. There we go. Wow, let's give this a stir. I want it to be nicely coated, but not to be like soup. Otherwise that's not gonna work super good in the sushi roll. So we'll see. Looks like I might have made just a little too much sauce, but it's still gonna work well. Again, I'm playing. This is my first time ever making this with these specifications and making it in this way. So there we go, that looks pretty darn good. All right, so we have the rice, we have the curry filling, we have a dipping sauce, and we also have an avocado here. So what I'm gonna do is chop the avocado in half. I'm gonna try and make 5 sushi snakes or 5 sushi blogs. So I'm gonna cut each half into 5 slices so that each sushi gets 2 pieces of avocado. So slice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So not perfectly even, but we do our best, right? Avocado is optional. You don't have to add it, but it's pretty darn nice in sushi. I ordered this stuff from rawnori.com. I'm not an affiliate or anything, so you can't help my banana habit by getting it, but you can get raw vegan nori, certified organic. There you go. Pretty darn good stuff. I bought a couple bags of these 50 sheets so that I can make sushi for the next while. I had them shipped up to Sweden, had them shipped here, so you can get them all over. So we're gonna go 5. So we got 5 sushi sheets. Slip this handy sushi roller underneath one of them. This is a really useful tool for making sushi. I mean, that's what they use, right? So I'm gonna slide that underneath one of these guys. Nori is a great source of many different minerals, including iodine, so I don't mind having some of it every once in a while, but you wanna make sure you get good quality stuff. I actually have a whole video on better than nori, because at the time I made that video, I couldn't find certified raw vegan organic nori, and I was concerned because a lot of nori can actually have crushed crustaceans and other little sea matter inside there, and it's very questionably vegan if it's not really specifically sourced that way. So this stuff, pretty awesome, and the Better Than Nori sheets that I made, I have a whole recipe video, so you can actually look at the link below. It's a recipe video to make your own non-seaweed nori, if you just don't want seaweed in general. Tell you honestly, it's better than nori. It is better than nori. I make it a lot at the Farm of Life. It's really delicious. So below, you can check out that recipe too. Little bowl of water on the side. You'll see why soon. And all I'm gonna do...
Holy hen, I don't know why this video is so long. I don't know why I'm talking so much, but yeah, all I'm doing is just dividing the rice between these 5 sushi rolls and then flattening it out so that we can roll them. I swear I will never make a video this long again, and I'm just talking the absolute whole way through. Yep, there we go. So all I'm doing is just spreading this out across the sushi rolls to make some really big curry sushis. That's it.
I love it. Now all we have left is put these avocado bits in there, so. Seriously, look at that. It looks amazing. Hopefully you can see it. It's time to try and roll these suckers up. So I have this beautiful plate on standby. And what I'm gonna do is start to roll this. Oh God, oh God. It's really gonna be a full one. But there we go, that's looking like it's gonna work. Oh God, hopefully it's gonna work. And we'll use some water and seal the end with a bit of water. That way the sushi paper will actually stick together. So, wow, that's a messy one, but it's together. Hopefully the next ones work a little nicer. So look at that. We got these 5 beautiful, somewhat messy sushi snakes going on. I'm gonna pause, clean up this a little bit, and then we're gonna dive into this and I'll let you know how it is. Oh, stay tuned for the full nutritional breakdown. Here, look at that. Look at those rolls. They're sushi snakes. Now I'm lazy. I'm not gonna cut them up into individual pieces. You definitely can. Might be a little tricky with the insides, but it would work. I'm just kind of lazy, and I like to eat them this way, kind of like sushi burritos. So we'll just take one of these guys right here. Look at that. Oh, it's dripping rice a little bit. Let's just go for it. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Dip that dong in there. Dip it right in there, you know? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. You know, after that talk about chewing your drink and drinking your food, like Gandhi said, you know I'm gonna follow it, especially in the video, right? You know, maybe sometimes I T-Rex that, snake that down, you know, but wow. This is damn good, I gotta say. Really damn tasty. Something to play with, you know, whether you follow this exactly to a T or you just utilize this as a bit of a fun fusion and play with your own ingredients. Maybe to use different vegetables inside of the curry, you know. Really damn good. So I'm gonna enjoy this and go watch Star Trek Discovery with my parents tonight. So if you're watching the recipe video portion, then look out for the nutritional information coming next for this recipe and the whole day. All right, so here's that final meal. And after this, we're gonna go into even more detail on the entire day's worth of food intake. So here you can see I got 1,352 calories just from this meal. You can see the breakdown of all the different ingredients. I listed absolutely every single thing in here. Try and get as accurate as possible. Next, you can see that I got 58 grams of protein here, so well over half my normal daily intake. 106.6 net carbs and 66 grams of fat. So it's a little bit of a higher fat day, but you'll see how that evens out when it's all together. Next here, 91% of all my targets just with this meal. So you can see all of these major micronutrients I met, you know, except for calcium, which we know from the other ones, I'm well over 100% as well. So let's go into the whole day's worth of nutritional calculations. All right, now it's time to get into the nitty-gritty of the entire day and much more detail. So you can see here I got around 4,117 calories. It's a little more than I'd get on average, but it was a pretty busy day actually, and my needs, they can fluctuate between 2,500 to 4,000 depending on my activity level. So you can see I added in all of the ingredients from all the meals. Got the bananas and kale for breakfast or lunch, and the mandarin orange and the kombucha for the pre-dinner, plus all the ingredients in there for the sushi recipe. Plus I had 1 spray of vitamin B12, Garden of Life. I usually take a spray from that, you know, every 2 to 4 days just to top off my vitamin B12. We'll go into the details now. So protein, 7% of my total calories, 76% of my total calories from carbs, and 16% of my total calories from fat.
It's a little higher than average for my fat. I usually fluctuate between 7 to 15, but this is a little bit of an indulgence day. And in general, I float around the 80-10-10 variable, which, it does have a little bit of a leeway there over the week, month, and even year. So we're looking down here, again, a little bit of a surplus in the calories, but that's all good. This wasn't completely formulated to how much exercise I had in there. So looking at the protein, 97.9 grams of protein, non-cooked protein. That means no denatured protein, very bioavailable. 715 grams of carbs and 80 grams of fat. That's pretty damn awesome. Looking at the highlighted targets, over 400% of my fiber, 100% of all my targets, it says, over 380% of my iron, over 175% of my calcium, over 1,700% of my vitamin A. Good thing the body can excrete that very easily in the urine. Wow, or 1,619% of my vitamin C, 396% of my folate, 391% of my potassium, doing really darn good. Obviously, I'm in the red zone with the energy and tons of water. My needs are filled. And I will actually mention that I had water to start the day, and I had water after working out, and I had some water just before my smoothie. So got a lot of water in there. You can see all my vitamins here. All of them are in abundance. Wow, 20,000% of my B12, right? That's one spray there. It's amazing that you need that much in order to absorb just a very little. All the rest looks really great there with all the vitamins. K, really high. E, vitamin C again. Look at all the minerals here. All of them are at least in the triple digits, over 100%. The sodium being low, which is really good, but all natural plant sodium. 182% of my zinc. Selenium, 256. Some of that would be from the mushrooms. Carbohydrates is showing, I hit definitely my carbohydrate fix, my fat fix. I went a little bit over it's showing, but it's actually showing here that I have a really good 3 to 6 balance. It's almost 1-to-1, which is pretty darn amazing. Just a little bit of saturated fat going into all the proteins. It's hitting 141% of my protein needs on an 80-10-10 type approach here. Every single essential amino acid, easily hit. The lowest one being 162% of methylthionine. So, well, I hope you guys really enjoyed the video and all the breakdown of the nutritional information, and you try out these recipes and play in the kitchen, have fun. If you have any questions at all, just leave a question or a comment below. Let me know what you want to see more of. Hit that bell, if you want to be notified for the next video, and of course, subscribe, right? So, hope you guys have an awesome holiday season. There's, of course, going to be more to come, but we're in that Black Friday season, and all the links that I mentioned are down below, so you're going to want to take advantage of all those. So, as always, wishing you much peace, love, and seasonal fruit.
What I eat in a day video. Damn, that was good.
Ooh, don't forget to check out my raw recipes playlist in the top left, the video just for you in the top right, subscribe for more videos in the bottom right, and get your 3 free ebooks in the bottom left. Grab your free raw recipe app, available on iPhone and Android with over 100 free raw recipes, common fruit and vegetable calorie breakdown, frickin' raw food combining chart, shopping cart function, and so much more.